What's up, everybody? I think we're actually right on time. It's 6 o'clock. Tonight's episode of the Start Build Grow Show is getting underway in just a minute. So kind of as we're getting started, we're going to be working on bringing our new guest in. I'm hoping he jumps on in just a sec. But man, we're really excited about tonight's episode. We have a lot of awesome things going on, a lot of cool things to talk about. And we got a really special guest once again that is a serial entrepreneur and just has made his mark on the roofing industry. And he's there already. So Nick's going to go ahead and get some announcements going for you. And then I'm going to work on getting Ben in here.
Yeah, well, welcome, guys. This is episode 22. As always, I appreciate you guys joining in. Start, Build, Grow Show, where contracting and business meet. Trying to make a big focus today and getting a lot of questions, right? So we're going to have a special guest in the technology field for roofing. So any kind of questions that you guys have, whether it might be technology, for example, we'll be working with somebody that does a CRM. If you guys have any questions about that, organizing, anything like that, connecting stuff, please make sure you guys have that. Production questions would be great as well. Make sure you guys have that lined up. We also have a very special announcement that we will be making probably somewhere between mid-show. So make sure you guys stay tuned because there's going to be some exciting stuff that's going on in the industry that I think you guys can be part of. That's going to bring a lot of value to you and your business.
I think we have him. So he got through that all right. Thanks, Nick.
Yeah.
Here we go. I think it looks like it's connecting. There he is.
Nice.
Ben, my
nice
dude.
Work, Ben.
What's up, man?
Hey, how you doing?
Good to see you again. Good to talk to you again. We talked a lot lately, and it's been awesome, man. We have some cool stuff we're going to announce later, but we'll go ahead and kind of get you teed up here. Love the backdrop, man.
Yeah, let's ask him about the backdrop. What's going on back here, man? What are you into?
Awesome. What's up with that?
So I played music for years since I was in high school. Played in lots of bands and stuff, and I love writing songs. So that's just one of my fun things I like to do. So I built this little basement room down here, and I soundproofed it and everything. And I play drums, guitar, bass, piano. So I can do a whole song myself, sing harmonies with myself, and just do fun tracks all the time.
All right, so we're gonna skip the show, and we're just gonna
live show.
Yeah, we're gonna just switch to Ben just jamming out on the guitar. Hope everybody's okay with that.
Yeah.
Let's pretend we're not talking about roofing for a little bit.
They won't have to listen to me for a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, what's up, man? So let me go ahead and give you a formal introduction.
Up for you guys, is it looking okay there for you?
Yeah, just try to kind of center yourself up, because obviously we want to try to provide the best, aesthetic content. There you go. Perfect. Looking good.
Okay.
So without further ado, many of you who are watching and who are going to be watching, you're already users. You've already heard of this name. You've already seen the movement and the things that have been going on in our industry in the technology side. Ben Hodson is actually one of the founders and the CEO of JobNimbus, one of the fastest growing CRMs in our industry. And it's a pleasure to work with you. It's a pleasure to have you on our show. And more importantly, we're not here to sell JobNimbus. What we're here to do is, like we always do, is tell a story. Ben, on top of JobNimbus, has an awesome story. He's a serial entrepreneur. He started multiple companies, had a lot of startups, and like all the rest of our guests, has probably had some pretty significant failures too. So we're going to hit you with that as well. So without further ado, Mr. Ben Hodson, what is up, man? Thanks for joining us.
Awesome. Hey, thanks for that introduction. Yeah, I love starting companies. JobNimbus is somewhere between my 7th and my 10th company I've done now over the last 20-something years. So it's awesome, and I have some experience I'd love to share today. So
awesome. So I'm going to tee it off to Nick, and he's going to go ahead and get you started with the questions.
Yeah.
Once again, we're getting rolling on this, but again, everybody kind of knows the drill now. They're all saying what's up, where they're from. Make sure to share this out, and you're going to want to share it too, Ben, as well. If you can, click the little share button. He's already logged in on my account, sharing it to all of our groups and friends and those sort of things. So we're going to take just 2 seconds to kind of share this out, fill up the pipeline, get some people watching. We'll say what's up. Justin, Rhett, Mike, Adrian, Ike, Janice, how are you? Good to see you watching. Mark, Ben, obviously. What's up, guys, from California? We got hello. Where are you guys at?
Too, if they're using JobNimbus, say what
Yeah,
up.
if you're using JobNimbus, say what's up. Again, Nick, he loves the emoji, so
like
throw us an
emojis,
emoji.
You know,
And
a thumbs up or I like the fire too. If you got the fire thing going,
fire emojis are great.
You know, Ben's into instruments. If you guys got some of those instruments, the guitar, throw it up there, man.
Yeah.
Throw your favorite instrument. If you play one, throw it up there, man. Get some engagement going. That's what it's all about, man. So
yeah, check it out. Janice is she was at our last event that we had.
Yeah.
So we have a big announcement we're gonna make in about 20 minutes. So we'll be talking about that in a little bit. Hint, hint. We hosted a mastermind last year, and a little hint, we are going all in this year, doubling down, making it that much better. But we'll tee that up a little bit later, so you got to stay tuned. So what's up, man? Let's get this thing fired off.
Yeah,
say hi, everybody.
Hey.
Thanks for being here.
So Ben, how many companies did you say you started?
This is somewhere between the 7th and the 10th. I kind of lost track about 8 or 9 years ago.
You're a crazy man.
Yeah, some of that was a mistake on my part, by the way. You should never try to run 3 companies simultaneously. You'll just do crappy on all 3. So learn the hard way on that one.
Yeah, right. So what the heck got you into business? What was your first one? I mean, give us a little more background, a little more information on that.
Yeah, it's funny. I've always been in technology. I'm from the Seattle area. I went to University of Washington. I got a degree in business administration there, and then I like computers so much I stayed and got a second degree in computer science. And while I was doing that degree, this is a funny thing, they had a business plan competition of all things. And so a friend of mine who was in one of my classes, we had an idea. I had been messing around with this technology. It was actually about security. Probably the easiest way to describe it, you know, when you're in a browser and you see a little padlock that says you're in a secure, website or whatever.
Right.
Well, in the background, your browser has to talk to servers that have specific little security keys on them that need to be changed all the time. They're called certificates. So it gets really into the minutia of encryption and stuff. But the funny thing is I had an idea. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
The SSL certificate?
Yes.
Nice. Okay.
Yep, SSL. So I had an idea for how we could change those automatically, because at the time, lots of companies were forgetting to change them, and then everything was going down, and they were getting hacked, and it was just a major mess. So I wrote this patent for it. We entered in this business competition, and it's actually a funny story. So I'm there. I'm just I don't know. I was like 21 or something, and they have you kind of enter in, and then you have to stand in this giant auditorium, and everybody has a little booth, and you're just kids, you don't know anything, and it's all the who's who of the elite of Seattle at the time, venture capitalists. I mean, Steve Ballmer was there. The CEO of Chase Bank was there. It was just like a who's who of people that you'd never expect to meet in your whole life, right? And they come up, and Steve Ballmer actually pitched to him, and he gives you like a minute. Tell me your business plan.
Awesome.
You gotta have the best elevator pitch, right? Just like.
Did you have a good minute? How did you do?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I did pretty good. I know I did good because he has little Monopoly money. That's what they all have. And then he said, stop right there. And he handed me like $100 in Monopoly, which was a lot of money in the game.
Dude,
So,
what a moment. What a moment. That's
cool.
Awesome.
So they tallied up all the money, and our team ended up getting in the top 5 or top 6, something like that. So then we had to go into a boardroom, and they have all these guys, and they're just sitting there like this, totally stone-faced. And, you're this kid, you're like shaking a little bit. You're up there with your PowerPoint that sucks. And you don't have a business or any money behind you, right? You're just an idea. And you're pitching them, trying to get them to say yes. Well, we ended up winning, I think, 3rd overall. Out of the whole U.S., there was a lot of plans that put in. And we won like $50,000 of seed money that we could use to incorporate. And it kind of clicked in my brain, like, wait, why am I working somewhere else? This is rad. I want to do this all the time, So we spent the next year trying to figure out how to raise money and get that company off the ground. It took about 2.5 years. We ended up closing Verizon Wireless as our first customer. And this is a funny story. I have too many stories, but I'm inside a boardroom with the CTO of Verizon Wireless and a couple other people, me and my buddy that had started this thing. And I'm showing them like something I hacked together that's barely working, but it's cool technology that they've never seen before. And the CTO says, okay, how much? And the funny thing is, we were so dumb. We hadn't even talked about the pricing yet on this thing. We were just trying to get somebody to get interested in it. I'd flown out to St. Louis for a meeting, and long story short, on the fly, I just went for broke. I said $250,000 to get into this thing,
On the
was
fly.
a lot. Like it was probably should have been more like 25,000.
Just boom.
And he goes, "No problem, we'll do it."
No problem. He said.
Yeah, no problem, we'll do it. We're in. So word travels.
That's thinking on your feet, man. That's awesome.
And all these venture capitalists, we've been knocking on doors for a year trying to get them to even give us the time of day, suddenly start calling me. And within a week, I had 5 term sheets, and I could go between them and play everybody off, and we got a really good deal. We ended up raising about $4 or $5 million on the first round. We did like 3 other rounds after that. It was a crazy company. It's still around today. It's called Venafi. And most of the Fortune 500 uses Venafi as their certificate management system in the back end now. So,
and that started right there. Boom. That is cool, man. Great story. Randy, you want to take it over for a second?
Yeah, man, that's awesome, man. That brings me back to, I never got anything that level, but back when I did go to school, and I went to school for business and entrepreneurship, and there's this whole class, you know, this entrepreneurship business planning class that we took. And we got first place on that. We built this business plan for a fusion themed coffee / juice bar type thing that had a theme. It was called Jungle Juice. It's kind of funny. Yes. But we won some awards and got the highest grade and whatever else, but nothing even close to what you got to do. So I'm envious, man. Someday when I reach the big leagues, I'll be able to hang out in your world.
Well, okay, so here's the thing though. It's really bad when your first company does that well, because we ended up becoming like we had like 200 million in revenue within like 3 years. Ridiculous, you know. Wow. I thought I had it all figured out. So my next 2 companies, total disasters, because once you think you got it figured out, you are wrong, you know. So that's the funny thing. Every single business you start is different, and you just got to start applying principles. I tried to do the same thing over again, and it did not work because I wasn't using principles. I was trying to just copy myself, and that never works. Every business is unique in that way. So
yeah, that's great. I was just gonna tee you up for that, but you already went into it. So let's talk about that. We love this show because it's all about entrepreneurship. We talk a lot about success, but I think the viewers, they want to hear about failure. They want to know, how did you fail? How did you recover? Like, what can we learn from that?
Yeah. Let's see. I think I tried to do something where I've gotten used to having a lot of money with in the company because of venture backing. Venture backing is fine, but I don't like it as much because it takes you away from the scarcity. And you're not really investing in your people. That's probably not a problem that a lot of contractors have, but you can kind of say the same thing. I would say a lot of revenue covers a multitude of sins, and a lot of companies are swimming in cash but doing everything wrong, you know. And they're saying, well, we're making a lot of money, so who cares? It doesn't matter. But it actually does for longevity. And frankly, I don't understand anybody who doesn't want to run an awesome company. I want to be a person who is looked up to as somebody who's figured it out, and that my employees respect, and that they hopefully want to get there someday. Not to put myself on a pedestal, but other employees, I'm always mentoring my team because I want them to get to VP level, whatever they want to be in life. And so I'm trying to set an example, and I want to run an organization that's like what they would like to have someday.
Absolutely. And people can just feed off that and learn from that. I mean, you're talking about leadership. You're talking about being the chief of your tribe. You're not talking about being a manager. And that's one of the biggest issues and biggest, you know, things that entrepreneurs, especially in our space, struggle with. You know, we come from either a history of sales or a history of management or a history of installing roofs, and we're put into a position of leadership, of making decisions, of trying to strategize growth and strategize our business. And we don't ever actually do that. We stay in that mentality that we were conditioned to do, right? So we get into this place where we're literally just swimming upstream and trying to wear all the hats and do everything we can for our business, and we never pick time out to work on our business and become that leader that we need to be, instead of just being a glorified worker in our own business, right? So, I mean, how many times have you heard this? You deal with a lot of contractors just like I do. You know, how many contractors, if you get a whole bunch of contractors in a room and you ask, who wants to figure out how to build a business that runs itself and be able to have more free? Every single one of them are going to raise their hand, right? Then ask them, what kind of process do you have in place to get there? What kind of strategy do you have to execute that? That's what I'm here for. You're supposed to tell me that, right? And nobody thinks that way, right?
Well, and I would even add to that people aren't working on their business; they're working in their business, right? And I see that 100%. Every day, and it's something I can be guilty of all the time, because I get in the minutia. And here's one thing that's it's deceiving. You think that being busy is being effective, and it's wrong. It's actually the opposite of that. The more busy you are, probably the less you are working on your business, and the less likely it is to really take it to the next level like you want to. So I'll
tell you what.
Go ahead.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I'll tell you what, firsthand, the more I was able to remove myself from the day-to-day of my company, the more my company grew. And the more excited I was to put more energy back into it. And then the more it grew again, and all of a sudden, it's just it's like a rocket ship just growing, because I put all these processes and focused on becoming a leader and a strategizer, and not, you know, a doer. It was awesome. Here, I think Nick has another question here for you.
Yeah, sure. So it sounds like, Ben,
go ahead.
You got Ben.
Okay, so this is something I figured out a few years ago, and I really implement, but there's a new book that's kind of been making the circles the last couple of years. It's called Deep Work. I don't know if you've read that or not. And we
heard of it.
What is it? The work?
Deep Work. And the concept, though, is that, and this is the average contractor. I talk to them all day long, and they're literally on their phone from the time they wake up until they go to bed, you know, and there's no time that they're not constantly distracted by their phone, whether answering text messages, and they feel like, I'm running the company because I'm just on it. Anybody's asking me anything, I'm answering phone calls, I'm just on it all the time. When in reality, this book makes a great case. There's a lot of studies that show that you're actually just a slave to your company right now. You're not running it, it's running you. And you need to get out of that mentality. You need to find other ways to handle those things, processes and systems and people, so that you're not just the person answering the phone all day and answering texts.
100%, man. Okay, so what I want to dive into is how JobNimbus was actually born, right? And what it's like being a tech startup in the roofing space.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, so after a series of companies, and I had a couple of big failures, then I had a lot of people I'd worked with over the years that said, hey, you're a great software guy. You know the business side too. That's kind of rare for somebody to be able to play both sides, tech and business. I want you to come in and look at this problem I've got in my organization and see if you guys can solve it for me. See if you can figure it out. So I started a consulting company with Nick, my partner on this, and he and I started just doing really complicated big software implementations. We did one for the University of Utah to manage all their IP, just totally random stuff, you know, but paid well, and it was fun to meet all these different people, work on these different projects. Well, through this, we actually met up through a friend of a friend with a guy down in Colorado who was doing negotiations for insurance roofers. And he wanted us to set up a system to track all his negotiations. So we built that for him. But then we started meeting all these roofers through that. And it was funny because they're all saying, CRMs suck in this industry. They're too complicated. We don't like any of them. And I'm sitting there going, are you kidding me? There's a million CRMs. Like, I don't even want to hear this. Like, no, there's just CRM, get that out of here. There's got to be a better idea. But it started happening so much that we started looking at it. We're like, you know what? Nobody's really done a simple CRM for roofing or for contracting in general. Nobody's really focused on the things that people are really having problems with, and it's all got too complicated. So we built a prototype. We gave it to our first 10 roofers for free, and they worked it for about 6 months. We worked out some of the kinks, and they really liked it to the point where we sent out a message one day and said, would you be willing to pay for this now? And they all said yes. And so we built a company around it, incorporated, and it was about 2 years before we started seeing a really high growth rate. But we were profitable about the time we were starting to hit that hockey stick.
Was there any features or benefits from the CRM that you guys had that were like, these were the missing links, the missing components that was really missing in the roofing industry with other CRMs that were available at the time?
Yeah, I mean, one off the top of my head, there's probably quite a few, but one is our boards view. And if you've been in our software, every single roofer, I'd walk into their organization, go in their production room or whatever, and they'd always have a whiteboard up with magnet cards, and they'd be dragging and dropping jobs around and trying to track status. Well, we built like a digital whiteboard system that does the same thing, but it's built into the software and all hooked up to your customer, so you can look at notes and estimates and all that stuff. And it's just simple drag and drop. But you look at JobNimbus and you look at that board view, and it's such a striking difference from most of the software in the whole industry. I don't care who you're talking about, because most software looks like just a bunch of grids and Excel spreadsheets in digital form, you know. And then here's JobNimbus with this really visual, just simple drag and drop. You can teach somebody in 5 minutes and they get it, and it's much more effective for them. So those types of key things where we rethought things and did it from a whole new perspective, I think that was the big driver for our growth.
Awesome. Randy?
Yeah, I'm gonna bring it right back to entrepreneurship, because obviously that's what I do. What are the big challenges that you faced along this way? Because obviously trying to build a CRM, trying to fulfill demand, and trying to keep up with technology, those sort of things, I can imagine is just it could be just a daunting task. Okay, we're thinking about. Hopefully you're still there. Hopefully we're just getting some connection issues there. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I can hear you. Sorry, I don't know, maybe bad connection here, but can you hear me okay now?
Can you hear me okay now?
Yeah.
I can hear you. Okay.
Cool.
Yeah, sorry, maybe we got too much technology going at once here. So I was saying some of the struggles of too much tech at once. Can you fix that for us? We got 2 phones logged in, a laptop, all this stuff. And I'm sure they're watching my son's streaming YouTube on the iPad upstairs, so to keep him shut up for a little while. But here we are talking about technical difficulties. So building a CRM in this space and trying to fulfill all the demand and all the, you know, it's a big daunting task. Let's talk about that journey a little bit. Maybe what were some of the things that some of the big challenges, and then let's go into some of the triumphs. Like, what are some of the things that are either on the table that are coming down the pipe that you're really excited about?
Yeah. Okay, cool. So some of the challenges, it's hard. Now, the roofing specific, people are not super technical. You wouldn't call them like the highest they're not nerdy programmers, right? They're guys that know how to build a roof, know how to run a company, this type of thing. They know how to use their phone.
We can swing a hammer. We can't operate a computer, man.
Yeah, exactly. And they'll tell you that. You get on the phone with any of them or at a trade show, and they'll say, like, oh, hold on, I'm not technical. And we say, we get it. That's why we built this, is try to go to somebody who's not technical, and they still simple buttons that guide you through things. But because of that, sometimes they'll have ideas and we have to kind of translate it. We know technical stuff, but in reality, it needs to work this way and this way and this way. So we spend a lot of time trying to understand customer needs. And one of the cool things that we have on our site is a thing called user voice. And so you can just put in, anytime you have an idea about JobNimbus, like, this could be better. I wish this button was here. I wish that it had this feature. You just type it in into a little box there, and it will come up. And if somebody else has already asked for that idea, you can actually vote on it. We check those every single week. Our product team looks at that, looks at what the votes are, looks at what our roadmap is, and we adjust on a weekly basis what we're going to be having coming down the pike to try to match customer demand. So the more people that vote on something, the more we weight that into our future development, because we just have so many customers now, so kind of keep track. In terms of something that's coming new that I'm excited about, one thing that we've been working on and use that in mature orders, your estimate.
On here? Yeah. How do I do that? All right, are we there? Losing? I did. All right, we're still live. I moved over, hopefully a little. Try to add him back in. I'm not sure if it was mine. What? All right. That's funny because that's what we were talking about, but we're going to get Ben added back in here, and then we will get this party going again. Got some great conversations, so we're going to keep this thing going.
Oh, wait, she's talking a little about that hail that's going on in Colorado Springs. Did you guys see that this week?
Oh, man, there's been just some crazy hail in Colorado. I mean, I'm sure we got a lot of people watching from Colorado, and it's been just incredible, the amount. It's almost too much, honestly.
So what's the issues now around with this amount of hail? Because I heard it was baseball size in Colorado Springs, right? And I mean, I heard it took out 2 zoo animals, killed 2 zoo. Do you see that?
There's birds, yeah, some
birds.
birds.
And then took out and injured 12 people. Like it was some big.
That's one of the biggest, things we've seen so far this year. I mean, you've seen pictures of almost grapefruit size 3-inch, 4-inch hail.
Right.
It's too much.
Yeah.
I mean, for those of you, we all love hail, obviously, but you got to think bigger picture is the more big, huge, crazy storms you get, the more the manufacturers or the insurance companies, the government, all those things are going to be getting involved back in to repair these things. So deductibles are going to go up, premiums are going to go up, all these things are going to happen, and that's definitely a challenge.
So what we got here? So Janice, what did Janice say here?
All right, we got it now with a little bit of echo. Sorry, guys, we're in my office. It does tend to echo a little bit here. But Bernie, since I know, I wish I could. I want to separate the hail out and send it all over the country if I could. I like that idea. Do a show on financing. Definitely, I can get someone directly from one of our financing partners. That's a great idea. And then Janice, what's up? How are you? Yeah, we are down in the Springs, but not as much as we were. We're actually kind of having to pull out of there a little bit, just because we're just maxed out at capacity. But
That's crazy.
Yeah, there you go. The bid-based roofers, man. We'll talk about that. I think there's an advantage out there for hail. I mean, everyone's doing the exact same thing. They've been doing it for a decade. They're knocking doors. They're trying to sign contingencies. Somebody that can master the process of giving estimates and having those estimates be, one, have a good margin built in, and two, have your the pricing in sync with what Xactimate pricing is, and use that as your in and do a great presentation. Man, you could separate yourself out pretty good if you did something like that.
For bid base.
Yeah. I'm gonna try to see if Ben can jump back in here. I don't know if he is, but we'll see.
So who's winning then when you get to, when you get to this point where a lot of the big companies in Colorado can't handle this kind of production? Who's the big winner for this kind of situation then?
What do you mean?
Like, who's getting that bit? I mean, honestly, there's still business that has to be done, and if you can't handle it, who's the biggest beneficiary of a situation like this where it's just maxed out?
Well, it depends on who's already been invested in the area and who's been working. I mean, the roofers that have been working on building their brand, that have been marketing, that have been in the areas that have gotten hit, that have kind of stuck through a couple rough years and those sort of things.
Yeah.
Those are the ones that are benefiting.
Yeah.
You know, because they're already established. They have a local brand. They're gonna get the best jobs, the best pick of the litter,
Right.
and then all the storm chasers are gonna come in and try to get as much of the low hanging fruit as they possibly can.
Yeah.
And then the second phase is gonna be kind of a mixture of the two.
What about the newbies then? Where are they? Like, what strategies do you have for the newbies, the startups that are newer companies, a year or 2 years old, or whatever it might be? They don't have that brand established. How do they win that situation?
You got to grind.
Yeah.
I mean, right now people door knock for a reason. It works. Okay. Yeah. I play both sides of that fence. I came up as a door knocker, but then I worked really hard to try to build a business model that was not door knocking. Like, I tried to figure out how the heck do I build a roofing company that can grow and sustain without having to door knock. So I played both sides of the fence, and door knocking works. I started my company off door knocking. And my partner and I, that's all we did is get started, get in front of people any way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
So for those of you starting out, your number one objective is to let people know who you are and what you do. If people don't know who you are, they don't know that you're a roofer, how are they going to call you? How are they going to trust you? So you got to be working on that all year long to build that brand recognition. That way, when storms do happen, you are first in line to make it rain, essentially. Let's try Ben. I think he's trying to get back in here.
Maybe I saw a head pop up.
Here we go. Let's see. We'll add this in here. There's his head.
There's his head. His head's up
His
there.
head's
We're
up
gonna get him
there.
back in there, man.
It's supposed to say adding. We're right next to my Wi-Fi now, so this should be good.
We'll get it here.
Yeah, Nathan. I mean, it does suck. I mean, insurance companies tell them to slam the door on knockers. It works, but it's changing, man. The industry is changing. People are getting more and more savvy to the system, to the process. They've been through it. They've had to work before, and the carriers, the homeowners are not receptive like they used to be. So now they're more savvy. They want bids. They want to do their homework. They're looking up your companies online. They're looking up reviews. They're checking your website. They're checking your Facebook page. They're looking at your personal Facebook page to see if you were out partying last weekend. Like, people are doing these things. Consumers are doing these things. So be cognizant of that and try to do what you can to avoid those situations and give yourself the best chance to win. Let's see if we can get him in one more time. I don't know what's going on here. We're still having some rough technical difficulties. It sounds like there's a little bit of a lag still. Thanks for bearing with us, guys. We're going to try to get him back on here. There we go. Got some thumbs up. Appreciate you guys. Give me some. Just bear with us as we try to grind our way through this thing. Dana, what's up, man? How's it going? James, Nathan, James again. Oh, my lovely wife is watching. She's out with the girls tonight. Bernie, what's up, man? Janice again. Hello, everyone. We're still trying here. We'll see if we can get him in. I know my internet's good right now. He's in his studio. I don't know if that's blocking the Wi-Fi or something, but we keep trying to bring him back in. But we'll try one more time. However, maybe. I mean, do we make the announcement or what do we do here? We already talked about it. We still have some people following. Do we make this announcement or not? I don't know.
I think we hold off. Here.
All right, hold on. We're gonna try a couple more times, guys. What's up, man? How's it going? What's up, Joe? Dana, what's up, man? We're trying again to get him back in here. We just X'd out. We're gonna try it one more time. See if go ahead, Ben. If you're still watching, shoot us one more invite. Let's see if that works.
I'm feeling good about this next
one. Yeah, we're gonna get it. Cross your fingers.
All right, so he just threw it in here. Let's see.
We're trying to push the limits on Facebook Live here. We're cutting edge with this new show. Technology is not quite syncing
I
up
think it's
with
gonna
our
work this
agenda.
time. I'm vibing, man.
Here we
You
go.
didn't have to add anything on before. I'm feeling good.
It might work. There it is, connecting.
Oh yeah. Hey, never give up. Never give up. Never give up. All right, hey, man, dude, good to have you back.
All right, so let's try to recover here a little bit. Can you see us okay? Or are you still lagging a little bit? That's a good image right there, man. I got your face just like, I don't know, Ben. Let's see how well we're doing here. You may have to like move closer to your Wi-Fi. Ronnie, what's up, man? How's it going?
That's all footage, man.
Yeah.
Oh,
we lost him.
man. He's gone, man.
Oh, we'll try again, guys. I'm sorry. That's always fun when you're trying to do a live. Not being nice. Nevertheless, I'm just gonna do it.
No,
I think I'm gonna do it.
Are you?
Let's try one. Let's get this going, Ben, because we're gonna go straight into the announcement right now. That way, if we lose you guys again, we'll already have this done.
All right, we're back. All right, let's make this thing happen.
All right, do we got you a little bit?
Yeah.
All right, okay. We're back. We're back live again. Before we get lost again, we'll get back into the story and get back into some nuts and bolts. But I promised our viewers that we were going to have a big announcement.
Yeah.
And Janice had hinted a little bit at it. So last year, I was blessed with the opportunity to be a part of the first small mastermind conference that Job Nimbus was putting on. They were dabbling, just checking it out. We hosted it in Denver. I think we had like 60, 70 people there. Ton of amazing feedback. So what happens next? Let's talk about it.
Okay, so this is the announcement that we are doing JobNimbus Con, and we're actually going to call it JobNimbus Solution Summit. It's happening October 22nd and 23rd in Austin, Texas. And what that's going to be, most of our staff will be there. You will have one-on-one interaction with all of JobNimbus. It's a 2-day conference. We've got awesome keynotes. Randy's going to be our keynote on the first day, and Danny Kerr on the second day. We've got workshops throughout the day that you can go on a beginner level, an intermediate, or a really hardcore advanced level of learning about JobNimbus, about how to build your business. And what we really want you guys to come away from after this conference to say, obviously, this was really helpful, but we want you to be able to take your business to the next level. If you're at 2 million right now, we want to get you to 4 million next year. We want to double your revenue. We want to teach you ways, not just JobNimbus, but just in general, how to run your business better, how to source people better. We want to help you guys make more money and be more successful.
Man, I'm excited. I cannot wait to be a part of this. I appreciate the opportunity to share this adventure with you. It's just, it's all coming together really nicely, and we're really excited to get as many people as we can out there. And the reason why we've kind of synced up on this is because our values and our vision for what we're trying to accomplish is the same.
Yes.
I wake up every day and I tell myself, how can I help others, and what can I do to use the knowledge and experience that I've had in life and in business and in the industry to help motivate, educate, and empower others. And you guys are on the same page, and it's going to be awesome because not only is the JobNimbus team going to be there, we got a lot of other really, really sharp minds, like-minded people that are very successful in their own right, that have just a ton of great positive energy and some amazing value to share with you guys. I'm really excited. I'm putting my heart into it with you, Ben, and we're gonna really crush this thing this year. So put it on your calendars, October 23rd and 24th, and none other than October 22nd and 23rd. It's a Thursday and a Friday.
Monday
Is that right?
and Tuesday. Yeah.
Monday and Tuesday. I'm getting two conferences mixed up. So I got too many things going on. It's a Monday and Tuesday. So I'm actually going in, I think Thursday or Friday before, and I think I'm just going to rent a house and just hang out in Austin for a couple of days. It's going to be awesome. We will post on Facebook. We will be posting. Nick's actually got our first little marketing material. We're going to post today. We'll go ahead and post it in the link on this This is a podcast on the show. We're not doing a podcast. But Monday, Tuesday, the 23rd and 22nd and 23rd of October. It's going to be awesome in Austin, Texas.
I can feel your energy, man.
Austin, it's going to be awesome.
Do you feel this guy's energy right now, man? He is overjoyed, man. I think he's already thinking about what he's going to be talking about. Do you know what your speech is going to be on? Do you know what you're going to do?
I don't know yet. I don't know yet.
Do you know?
We haven't dialed it in. We got some people watching. What do you guys want me to talk about?
Yeah.
Let's hear from the viewers. I don't want to just get up there and be a talking head. I want you to walk out of there with some knowledge that's going to change your life. Some knowledge that's going to make you go and implement things into your business that's going to help make you more money and help you provide more opportunities for other people. What do we want to talk about? Throw it in the comments. I'll be interacting with y'all later. We'll obviously talk about the story and the journey. I mean, I came up from absolutely nothing to build a company that we had. So I want to be able to use that to help provide value for our clients and for everybody that's there. But again, I'm all ears. We'll talk about that.
Yeah, 100%.
So I should mention we'll have quite a few of our partners there, and they'll be teaching some of the workshops, so you'll be able to interact with Company Cam and Sales Rabbit and a lot of others. Tickets will be going on sale in about a week and a half, and we'll be announcing it on all social media, on our website, on email. So if you're on our email list, you'll see it. So
on the Start Build Grow Show page, make sure you like that page. There's my plug.
Right.
Like the Start Build Grow Show. We definitely will be keeping you informed on that as well.
Awesome.
Cool. So let's start wrapping here a little bit.
Also,
let me turn it over to Nick. He's got a couple more questions.
Also, hey guys, if you guys don't mind, if you guys have been to Austin, Texas, if there's fun things to do there, I heard you got to keep it weird. I'm looking to keep it weird. So if there's anything fun to do there, please put that in the comments too, because I'll go check that out. That sounds like a great time.
And while we're excited and pitching this whole deal, we're also working on a cool. We're going to be hosting a special, kind of our own special event with only a limited number of guests, where we're all going to be hanging out and getting to know each other on a personal level. So I'm going to be the main sponsor of that event, and I'm stoked. It's probably going to be a happy hour. We're just going to hang out and get to know each other even better than just seeing shows and videos. Yep. So I'm going to turn it back over to Nick, and he'll wrap up, maybe get a couple more little nuggets for you.
Heck yeah, man. Well, I like to end everything with like a key takeaway. Okay, so based off your experience, the tech industry, the tech field, and also now with roofers, right? Where do you see people using CRMs and stuff like that to benefit their companies? Like, what's a key takeaway where it's like, hey, make sure you do this with technology in the space?
Yeah, the first thing I'll say that really surprised me, we knew Job Nimbus was special because a lot of people really thought it was great and it was helping them, but we didn't know the impact it could make. I've met at least 10 different customers who came up to me and told me stories about how they were literally on the brink of out of business, that they could never get past 2 million a year or whatever the number was for 10 years straight. And then they implemented Job Nimbus, and within 1 year, they doubled, tripled their revenue. We have customer success stories going from 1 million to 10 million in 2 years, crazy numbers. And I'm not saying that's all us, but what Job Nimbus does is it forces you to do a lot of really good business practices. The tools, if you use them right, will make you a better company. And so that's one thing that I've just been really excited about. It's done a lot of good, and it saved some businesses and some jobs that wouldn't be there otherwise. Really proud of that.
Heck yeah, man. That is awesome. Well, we're getting pretty stoked, man, for this conference out in Austin, Texas. Once again, the 22nd and the 23rd, which is a Monday and a Tuesday. Like Ben was saying, ton of great partners, ton of great information. And if you guys could put in the comments whatever you guys think for keynotes, or if there's any even breakout sessions that you guys want to see there, whether it's sales, marketing, production, whatever it might be, if there's any specifics that you guys really want to learn, make sure you throw that in there, because we know what we're going to do is we're going to do that. We're going to provide that value for you guys, because that's what it's all about, right?
Yep. Yeah.
Solution, baby.
That kind of feedback.
Yeah.
Solution Summit. Well, stay tuned for more information. Thanks, Ben. I'm gonna let you get back to the family, and maybe you can, spin some tunes, make a song for us. And I'm gonna be waiting for you to play that at the Solution Summit. All right.
All right. Yeah.
We want our own Start Build Grow Show theme song by Ben Hodson. That's your project.
Yes.
Love it.
Awesome, man. Thank you, sir. It was fun.
All right,
Let's
thanks, guys.
have a great night. God bless.
Okay, bye-bye.